The time has finally come, guys. So first, before I start this video, shout out to this commenter. You can thank him for this video. So with that out of the way, today I'm going to be ranking all 12. Yeah, you heard that right. 12 instead of 13 films. Why? I have no idea why they don't have 13. They should, because that would make sense, right? But no, of course not. I mean, they did get ridiculous over time, though, I will say that. Anyway, I'm going to be ranking all 12 Friday the 13th films. So, before we get into it, though, I have 2 Jason masks. 2. I am making a custom one. Now, I am keeping the real one, but I'm going to be spray painting it and putting the blue marks on it from part 5. And the first person who comments Jason Voorhees will win the custom version. And also under that comment, if you want it signed by me, you can have that too. And then you can have your own very cool Jason mask. So, yeah, you could be a winner. If you don't want it, that's fine too. That's completely okay. I'll take a custom. I'm completely okay with that. But okay, so I love this franchise so much. This is my favorite horror franchise of all time. And I remember most of these movies getting pretty fucking bad. I'm not gonna lie. I made a YouTube short ranking these, and my ranking now is kind of the same. Also, kind of not. Because I actually enjoyed every single one of these movies. More than I thought I would. I've come to love this franchise a lot more than I thought. And I've loved Jason ever since I was little. So, with that out of the way, I got a whole ranking here, and let's fucking get into it. So. I'll just show them. Okay, guys. Gotta look. Okay. The 12th film on my list is the original Friday the 13th. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing. Hey, don't click off the video. I'm just kidding. My number 12 is easily in last. Is Jason Takes Manhattan. I did enjoy this movie for some odd reason, because I remember absolutely fucking despising this movie. I thought it was alright. I didn't care for it. This is, out of the Friday the 13th movies, this is the one I least enjoyed, honestly. I couldn't sit through most of it. It was alright to a degree, but then there's some parts in the movie where I just, want to fucking turn away, because, oh my god, some of these effects are fucking terrible. It's not the worst of the franchise, so fucking surprisingly, but I mixed fucking surprisingly, if you guys, I don't know, it's a funny word. So, the problem with this movie is, it's enjoyable, but it should not be called Jason Takes Manhattan. He's on a boat for 55 minutes of the movie, and he just goes into New York. I don't know, Times Square. I guess good things I can say about this movie is there's very iconic shots. There's very iconic scenes, like that one where he's showing his real face to the mugs. That's perfection. That's awesome. But I felt like we needed more of that, because people say when a horror movie, when they start going to New York or space, or it all gets ridiculous. Scream 6 pulled off a New York setting just fine. Great, actually. But this movie did not, and I just feel like it had so much potential because it's Jason in the fucking New York. It should have had the most kills of the series. But I don't like Jason's look either. And none of these characters are likable. I felt nothing towards the characters when they died. That fucking teacher, I wanted him to die. I'm going to hell for saying that, but seriously, he is such an asshole, and I despised him so much. I wanted to come in that screen myself and just fucking strangle him. Because honestly, I don't think Kane Hodder gave it his all here either. Honestly, I just felt like this movie fell flat. It didn't. It didn't succeed my expectations, and it just, like I said, it felt flat. And I did enjoy it, but at the end of the day, it's my least favorite Friday the 13th film. Coming in at a number 11, is Jason Goes to Hell. Originally, I was gonna have Jason X here. So, any guesses of what the next one's gonna be? Yeah, sorry. But Jason Goes to Hell, I actually enjoyed this movie a whole lot more than I remember. I said the ending was good in my shorts, and I didn't mean the credits. I meant the post-credit scene, or it's not the post-credit scene, literally the last scene, where Freddy Krueger's glove pops up, and basically it's a tease that we didn't get for what? Fucking 10 years since then. But, I mean, this is actually a really fucking weird movie. That's the thing with it. It's out of the blue, and I have so many issues with this movie, but I enjoyed the living shit out of it. Like, it's so absurd that it's so bad it's good. The problem is, Jason, he's not even in here, barely. And that's what, it's not a Jason movie without Jason. Come on, he's the main fucking icon. It's just, it won't make sense without him. And he's in here, but like slugs and shit, and that's the biggest problem with this movie. They add too much to the lore so far into the franchise that we didn't know, and it adds too much, and it gets confusing after a while. Now, why I did not put this in last, because that really irritated me, is because there's actually likable characters in here. The baby's more likable than half the characters in Manhattan. Oh my god, no shit. The lady at the burger joint, fucking great. The gore in this movie is outstanding. Some of the best in the franchise. And, I mean, it's a hell of a time. The guy with the glasses, I don't remember his name, he is a badass. Oh my god, I thought Tommy Jarvis, this motherfucker. Holy shit. New Tommy Jarvis, man, like, no shit. But there's likable characters in this movie. Duke, the cowboy guy, fucking amazing. Short-lived. They kind of just brought him in. He's kind of like a throwaway character because he just adds to the lore. But honestly, it was great. It was a great performance. I really liked it. Like I said, just the problem with this movie, it adds too much too late in the franchise. And then it makes you look back on all the other ones. And if anything, it's actually kind of a disrespect if you really think about it to the franchise, because it never mentioned in the first movie that Jason can go to hell with his mother's fucking blood or his family. They don't mention a damn thing about him having a sister until the fucking 9th movie. What? It makes no sense. Absolutely zero sense whatsoever. And honestly, that really irritates me. And what also really irritates me is how the fuck does this make sense? Jason Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. He gets melted with toxic waste. But he's back in this movie with a whole new look, with his mask melted to his face, and they killed Jason way too soon in this movie. I have a lot of issues, but I enjoyed it, actually, a lot more than I thought I would. Even though it's bad, it's a bad movie, but it's good at the same time. I can't say that about, Manhattan, but I guess it was still enjoyable. But I did like Jason Goes to Hell more because it just has a darker tone and not much of a sillier tone. So, yeah. Coming in at number 10. I know some people might be pissed that I put it so low. I know the guy who gave me this video idea is obviously going to be pissed here, but Jason X is my 10th favorite. Literally seconds before I started this video, I just finished watching it. And honestly, it was a fun time. I really enjoyed Jason X, but oh my god, the effects are fucking atrocious to look at. Some are practical and look amazing. The kills are fine too. But oh my god, the effects. Oh my god, the slicing, the virtual reality, it just comes off so goofy. And then there's a talking head that looks like stop animation in a 2002 film. It's like, what? It just adds so much. It's so weird. This movie is... It's basically a Leprechaun 4 ripoff, but just 100 times better than that movie. Oh my god, Leprechaun 4 was fucking atrocious. Oh my god, that movie was gross. Anyway, though, besides that fucking awful movie, I guess this movie works. I guess it's a cool concept, having Jason in the future. His new suit's also, I guess, badass. I'm not a huge fan of the design as much as other people are. I can still respect the direction they went with this movie. It was dumb fun, but again, some of the characters are not likable whatsoever. They get no character development. They're just characters from the future. I was simping over like the main character though. Yeah, she's kind of cute. Anyway, I did enjoy this movie. I can't forgive it for having bad effects. And I don't expect it, because it's 2002. I don't expect it to have fucking top tier, like, CGI, but whoo-wee, it was bad sometimes. And it's just, some of the dialogue's really bad. It's honestly, it's just my problems with it. But I enjoyed it more than the other two on this list. That's why it's only here. But this was originally going to be my second least, but it's not. So, yeah. So, yeah. All right. Number 9. Coming in at number 9 is Part 7, The New Blood. I kind of hated putting this here. I really thought I really did this movie dirty on this list, but honestly, I did enjoy it. It was a good movie. From here on out, I actually think that these are good movies. From here to the rest of the list, I think these are actually fun movies, and I'd be willing to watch on a horror movie night if we're going Jason. But thing is, this movie is a lot better than I remember. It's basically Carrie versus Jason. They wanted a new protagonist than Tommy Jarvis, and the concept is whack when you think about it. Some telekinesis chick versus Jason. Like, that's just absolutely ridiculous. But the way they execute it is actually really well done. Really well done. That's just my opinion. Now, I did not like the character, though. That's the problem. The girl who has the telekinesis. I liked her towards the end. At first, the first half, she just, oh my god, I don't know. I don't know if that was on purpose for the character development. I don't know what it was. Honestly, I didn't like her at all. At the end, yeah, it's fine. There's only 2 likable characters in here, which is fine. They carry the whole movie. The mom, too. The doctor's terrible. There's a lot of cool cinematography, like how this movie's shot. I actually really enjoy it. It's like it has a dark gothic like aesthetic all over, and I just really enjoy it. And some of the characters, their deaths are just really underutilized. The MPA apparently like really cut this movie down, and I can tell. That's the worst thing about this movie is the kills. Honestly, if this wasn't a good movie, I'd probably have this as one of my least favorites. The kills. I'm a weirdo. So when I see a horror movie, a slasher, or a Jason movie, I want blood and guts everywhere. And this movie honestly does not deliver on it. It was cut down so much. And honestly, I just felt disappointed with that. Especially with Kane Hodder's first outing. So, but I don't think Jason was underutilized at all in this movie. He's the main fucking person in here. Oh my god. And he's honestly a perfect match. And like I said, the story and the concept is really well done. Which is surprising for a 80s movie. It's like... It fucking surprises me. I think this actually came out in 1990. I'm guessing 1991. That's my guess. But I don't know. I think this movie is really good. It has some really good action too. I gotta say, what brought it a little lower is the ending. Oh my god, one of the most what the fuck moments in Friday the 13th history. They can get really goofy sometimes, but this crossed the line. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. It is a fake out, but still, it's like, you did not just do that. Come on, really. At the end of the movie, Jason's like about to kill them, and Carrie, I don't know her fucking name, but her dad pops out of the water, out of the lake, to bring Jason back in the lake. You're telling me a fucking man that's probably 5'8" against a 6'4" motherfucker that's almost 500 pounds of muscle gets dragged down in a lake by that? No way. No way. That just did Jason dirty, and it was honestly, it was just like, what the hell? Like, what the hell are they doing? What was that for exactly? 1991 was my guess. It came out. Oh, it is a 1980s movie. 88. Okay. All right. Wow. Oh, okay. That old. Wow. I enjoyed this movie overall, and it was a fun time to sit through. Yeah, definitely. Coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 8 is Part 3. Now, a lot of people are going to be pissed that I put Part 7 lower than 3. Come on. Part 3 is where he gets his iconic mask, and it's just him. I actually like the final girl. I wish we would have saw more of her. I'm glad she didn't die. Some of the characters are iffy, here and there. It's basically what Friday the 13th Part 1 and 2 didn't, it didn't, I don't really know how to explain it. Where I felt Part 1 and Part 2, they had stuff like missing, like that would just make it more of a Friday the 13th movie. I felt like Part 3 succeeded more within those two movies, because it took from Part 1 and Part 2 what was wrong in those movies and just did it here. And honestly, Part 3 was a very fun time for me. I don't think I can name a single bad thing about this movie. Honestly, and I don't know why people give it hate. I guess the 3D. 3D is pretty fucking bad, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, that is. But, I mean, I can't blame them, because that actually was one of the first movies they've ever tested 3D on, apparently. And it just wasn't... Yeah, I can understand why, Good kills. Awesome ending. Yeah, it's just, honestly, I had a lot of fun with this movie. So, yeah, Part 3 is really good. Coming in at number 7. Coming in at number 7, now this is going to piss some of you off. This is a very controversial one, but Part 5. I don't know why people dislike this movie. I don't understand why. I think it's just because of the end twist. Because it's not Jason in this movie. And I know you guys are probably thinking, like, you just said before, it's not Jason, a Jason movie without a Jason. Yeah, I know there are some stuff that doesn't make sense in this movie, but the dark comedy and there's the setting of the movie just really works for me, you know? And honestly, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the Tommy Jarvis is like he has PTSD and it just deals with that stuff while also like being really comedic. It's really dark. It's a dark movie, but it felt like when I saw them on screen, like everyone was enjoying the living shit out of this movie. I heard the director was on drugs. I don't know how this became a good movie, in my opinion, but man, I gotta do some drugs. See what movie I pull out of my ass. Yeah, but the thing that really left fans disappointed was it's not Jason. It's Roy. Now Roy's a cop in there, and they don't find it's kind of last minute, but I kind of like the twist. You don't see that coming. You really thought Jason was gonna get back from Corey Feldman half cutting his face off. You really thought he was gonna come back from that? He's human, remember? Technically in the first 4 movies. But Roy, wow, he put on a show. That's all I gotta say. I like the mask design a lot. You don't like it better than the original, of course, but I do like it. I like its redesign better than probably Jason X's mask. I just really enjoyed Part 5. Everyone in this movie was so likable, especially rest in peace to the lady, but she played the grant or the neighbor, like she's kind of like a grandma, I don't know. And then this guy is with her and she's telling him, eat your fucking slop. It's hilarious every time she's on screen. Oh my god, she should have won a fucking Oscar because I was chuckling so many times every time she was on screen. Honestly. So yeah, she apparently died last year, recently, I don't know. But yeah, that's sad. But honestly, fucking rest in peace. She deserves it. So coming in at number 6. Coming in at number 6 is the original Friday the 13th. I know people are gonna exit out of this video, but hey, I think this is an absolute. You stop fucking the clock all the time. Sorry, my foster has like this clock, and I don't know. Honestly, I think this is an absolute classic, and it's a rip-off of Halloween. That's fine. I really enjoyed it. But the thing is, this movie it feels so long when it's only an hour and 30 minutes. And it takes so long for just to get to the point of things. I get you're trying to make that character development, but you don't need to wait a fucking hour and 10 minutes. The kills are pretty tame. One. I don't like that at all. No. It's terrible. Especially for a start of a slasher franchise. I guess I like the lore of Jason in this movie. You're kind of getting to know what happened to him and stuff. But then the twist comes, and then it just kind of just cancels all that. And you're like, oh, well, this whole time I thought we were going to see fucking Jason. But no, it's actually his mother in the first film. And I didn't like that twist. Now, I thought the 2009 reboots did. And I thought that's what they should have done here. They should have kept Pamela Voorhees, which is Jason's mother, for the first half, shown what happened to her, and then years later, Jason comes back, because that would give somebody an actual reason. I guess Pamela had a reason as well, because, they killed her son. But it just doesn't work, and it just, when it all comes together, it's just, I really think this would actually be a better movie if they were Jason as the killer. That's just my opinion, though. Honestly, apparently Betsy Palmer hated this role. She only did it to get a truck. I think that's fucking hilarious. I guess some of the characters are likable, I guess. Crazy Ralph, I guess. I think that's his name. Um, yeah, there's a bunch of stand outs. Unexpected kills like the first. Like looks like she's gonna be the final girl, but she gets killed off halfway through, and you're like, oh, that's unexpected. But this movie just takes so goddamn long just to get to where it goes. And I guess I can tolerate it, but it's probably the longest film I've sat through. So, yeah. Anyway, though, coming in at number 5. Number 5 is Part 2. This was such a hard decision. I remember watching the first 2 movies, and I enjoyed them both. And this was the hardest placement for this list. And I came to a conclusion. I do like the second one better than the first. It has more likable characters. It has Jason in it, Baghead Jason. I actually think, no matter how people think that's fucking stupid, I think that's an iconic look, because that's his first outing, you know. He didn't get the hockey mask till the third film, so you gotta give some credit. Now, Jason isn't as big and strong in this one, so that's kind of like a letdown. But, like, I gotta say, some of the characters, like the final girl in here, I don't remember her name, but oh my god, is she just great. The acting is great in this movie. Honestly, everyone gave it their all in this movie. Some of the pacing here and there is pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. That's what held it back for me. But I gotta say, it's really good. The kills are creative. It's honestly, the characters have good chemistry together too, which you don't see that in a Friday the 13th film. All you see is sex, pretty much. But these actually have, like, it just seems like they're more friends than just, you guys know what I mean. But, like, it's just, I don't know, I really enjoyed this movie. And I honestly, I think it's better than the first. Also, another one that gave this a slight edge is in Friday the 13th. They killed a real fucking snake, and I absolutely despise that scene. I don't think that the snake deserved any of it. So, rest in peace. That's probably mostly why I like the second one better than the first. I was so pissed to hear that that was a real snake. But, yeah. Part 2 is better than the first, in my opinion. Just because it's quicker paced, even though the pacing is a little more bad, it is a little quicker paced, and it gets to it right away. Or at least has something to entertain you till it gets to the final point of the movie. Coming in at number 4. As the final chapter. Now, this is everyone's usually favorite, like one of their favorites, or usually their first favorite. I can see that. Corey Feldman's a very big highlight in this movie. Ted White, rest in peace, man. OG right there, man. Jason in this movie is fucking great. He's the best that he's been at since the first 3 movies. And I think they did Jason right in this movie. I like the dark setting. It's really a dark movie if you really think about it. The opening scene in the hospital and stuff, I actually enjoyed. Yeah, honestly, this movie is really well paced. Honestly, it takes its time. Now, there's a little bit of issues in this movie, like they bring in these two gay couples, and they're basically there just to get killed off, and that just kind of pisses me off because, like, why do you want to kill off the gay people? Just fucking, I don't know. That's just me though. Extra kills, but I just really enjoy this movie. Like I said, it's quicker paced. I like it. It's paced well. Ted White delivers one of the best Jasons. He has the physique and everything. And honestly, I enjoyed the living hell of this movie. So it's a lot of fun, and yeah, one of the best Friday the 13th films. Coming in at number 3. Now, a long, 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 long time ago, maybe like 4 years ago, this used to be my first favorite. This would be at the top of my list, Jason Part 6. I just come to just like, I feel like I just like other ones. A couple other ones, a tad bit more than this one. Every time I watch this movie, it's enjoyable. Oh my god, I don't think that'll ever go away. This movie is the most enjoyable, and it has the most action out of all. There's events in this movie that have nothing to do with the plot but are still enjoyable, like the paintball scene. Jason is awesome in here. He gets back from the dead, so it's the first time he's like a zombie Jason, which is fucking amazing. You get to see Tommy Jarvis is a better version of himself without PTSD. He's just a charm of a character. Lot of character development right there, first of all, straight up. Actor did better too. It's nothing against Part 5's actor, but he was actually apparently a Christian. So he was religious, basically, so he didn't want to talk any, because he went against his religion, which I guess. But I like Tommy Jarvis in here. Between him and the girl, the chemistry is freaking amazing. Every single character in here, even the dickhead, isn't a likable character. That just shows you dickheads can be likable characters, and the cop in here is completely an awesome character. I also like how this movie's shot. I can't say one thing bad about this movie except for Jason's outfit. I'm not a huge fan of the tactical, like, green vest outfit. It just kind of doesn't sit right with me. Also, I think he has yellow gloves. This is me, or is that am I crazy? I think he has yellow gloves. But honestly, yeah. Part 6 is just straight up a shot of adrenaline. It's honestly one of the best Friday the 13th films. Okay. The big finale. Coming in at number 2. Is Friday the 13th, 2009. I know. You guys are like, oh, that's not your first. Now, let me explain about when I go more to the first. But Friday the 13th, 2009 was originally going to be my first. But you cannot tell me that the original Friday the 13th film is better than the remake. You can't. I think this is one of the only remakes where the remakes is 10 times better than the original. They did Jason right here. They made him fucking terrifying. This is the most terrifying Jason yet. He doesn't just kill his victims slow. He takes a fire bag and he literally tortures this fucking lady in the bag, and she burns to death. It's like dark. I like the gritty. It's so dark and gritty. Sometimes that I couldn't even handle it. I really liked this film. And honestly, the Jason, it really works. Like I said, like it just makes sense that he's in this film. And the way they did Pamela Voorhees, just having her for the first 5 minutes and showing it what happened, that gives Jason a reason to kill. And that makes him like more relatable in this film. It makes you kind of feel bad for Jason, you know, that his mother died. Honestly, a lot of these characters are really likable too. Stoners are pretty funny, actually. I'm not gonna lie. The only character I didn't enjoy was the dickhead in here. I'm glad he got killed. The kills in here are just fucking brutal. Oh my god! Wow. Honestly, it's just unbelievable. Otherwise, man, is this just... This was a blast to sit through. I really liked this movie, and I like it better than the original. Okay, you can like the original better, but I think this movie just delivers on Jason. It's all about fucking Jason. and it pays so much respect to the original and does it so much better. So, you guys know what my number one is. Number one is Freddy vs. Jason. Now let me tell you something. This whole movie would not be able to get done. It was never able to get done back in the day. Crossovers weren't a thing. Horror crossovers especially. Horror crossovers aren't even a thing nowadays. And this movie was revolutionary. I can see it inspired so much films. It inspired probably Alien vs. Predator. Seeing two major franchises that I love combine into a big ball of energy. Great performances. Okay, a little bit of bad acting actually, now that I think of it. Great horror icons. Great gore. Great story. This movie fucking delivers. Honestly, not just as a Friday the 13th film, but as a Nightmare on Elm Street film too. Honestly, the reason why I enjoy this is just because I would have never thought of a way to bring Jason into Freddy's world. But how they did it, fucking genius. So, Freddy has to maintain power somehow and make the people on Elm Street fear him again. So he uses Jason and brings him back from hell. And that right there, oh my god, that is perfect. That is a perfect way to bring two horror icons in. Seeing them beating the ever-living shit out of each other at the end, I get hyped up. I'm like, oh shit, like every time. I've watched this movie multiple times. I know who's going to win, but I still am on the edge of my seat. And each time they fight, it's like they're in fire. They're getting bashed through fucking cement. They're at the edge, and I don't know. There's one thing about this movie I do hate, though. Jason is scared of water. So when the fuck was Jason scared of water? I mean, he drowned from it, but this motherfucker went halfway. He swims to Manhattan. He goes to Tommy Jarvis in part 6, underwater. It's just, that doesn't make sense to me. But the characters are actually likable, even though they are cringy sometimes. Like, the dialogue in this movie is also pretty bad. Also, I really like what they do, because they make this a Friday the 13th movie. They legitimately take Friday the 13th type feel, and they have a Nightmare on Elm Street type feel to it, and they combine it, and it just delivers. It literally, it makes sense too. And I don't know how, but it just, it does. It does. Weston Hills, I think it's called. It's like a psychiatric thing. It's from Nightmare on Elm Street. But they used that in here, and I really liked that. And honestly, the characters are likable. I really enjoyed it. Freddy and Jason were just, oh my god. I just wish Kane Hodder would have been a Jason. Nothing against Ken Kurtzinger. I think he's one of the most underrated Jasons ever put to screen. A lot of people hate on, he has more height than he has built, but I like the look actually a lot. This movie was fucking amazing, and I don't know why people give it so much hate. This inspired so many horror movies, and I'm gonna say it right now. This is my favorite horror movie as of right now. I've made a top 10 list of 15 actually. Top 15. I can't put the fucking link in the description, guys, so I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to scroll on my channel. Something happened today. Watch the YouTube short. It's ridiculous, but I'm telling you right now, I still stand by this being one of my favorite horror movies. Takes two horror icons that I love, and for 97 minutes long, delivers on a fucking blood-fueled blast. That's why Freddy vs. Jason is my favorite Friday the 13th movie. Well, if you stuck with me for almost 40 minutes long, talking Friday the 13th with me, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And, this was a long list. Sorry, I had so much to say, but this is an in-depth review of each film. This is my ranking. You don't have to agree. I'd love to hear yours in the comments. So, don't be a dick about it. Yeah, guys. Make sure you subscribe, share, everything like that. So, alright, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.